Gloria is 68 years old. She lives alone in a small apartment in Oshawa, Ontario. She retired from a clothing factory 4 years ago, collects CPP and a small OAS, and every quarter she gets a GST credit payment, about $133, that she uses to buy groceries for the month. Last Tuesday, Gloria was scrolling through Facebook when she came across a post claiming there's a new $950 grocery payment coming from the government on June 5th. She clicked the link. It asked for her social insurance number. She typed it in. Within 48 hours, someone used her information to attempt to redirect her CRA benefits to a different bank account. Gloria nearly lost everything. Not because the payment was fake, but because the payment is real. There is a grocery payment arriving on June 5th, up to $950 for a single person, up to $1,190 for a family of 4. But there's one thing you need to do before that date to receive it, and 5 traps that could take it away before it ever reaches your bank account. Stay with me. I'm going to walk you through everything. Before I get into what happened to Gloria and exactly how to protect yourself, let me share something that affects every single Canadian senior watching this right now. More than 12 million Canadians are about to receive a brand new benefit payment that didn't exist 6 months ago. It's called the Canada Groceries and Essentials Benefit. It replaces the old GST/HST credit, and it pays 25% more. But here's the problem. Between 10 and 12% of low-income Canadians don't file a tax return. That's over 1 million people who are eligible for this money and will never see a single cent of it because they didn't do one simple thing. If you're receiving CPP, OAS, or GIS, or if someone in your family does, this video could put up to $950 in your pocket. I'm going to break everything down in plain and simple language. No confusing jargon, no complicated terms, just the facts you need and the exact steps to take. And please, if you find this helpful, make sure you subscribe to Canada Pension News Bulletin. I create these videos so that seniors like you don't get caught off guard by rules nobody ever bothered to explain. Tell me in the comments right now, are you currently receiving the GST/HST credit? Yes or no? I want to hear from you. All right, let's start with the big picture because there's a lot of confusion going around right now, and I want to clear it up once and for all. On January 26, 2026, Prime Minister Mark Carney announced a brand new benefit called the Canada Groceries and Essentials Benefit, or CGEB for short. On February 20th, both Parliament passed Bill C-19, the Canada Groceries and Essentials Benefit Act, and it received royal assent the very same day. That means this is not a proposal, it's not a rumor, it's not something still being debated. It is the law. Statutes of Canada 2026, Chapter 1. Here's what it actually means for you in plain English. If you've been receiving the GST/HST credit, that quarterly payment you get in January, April, July, and October, that credit is being replaced. Starting July 3, 2026, it will carry a new name, the Canada Groceries and Essentials Benefit. And the payment amounts are going up by 25%. Not just for 1 year, but for 5 full years from 2026 all the way through 2031. But before that increase begins on July 3rd, the government is sending out a bonus, a one-time top-up payment. That payment starts landing on June 5th, 2026. Think of it this way. Imagine your GST credit is a glass of water the government fills for you 4 times a year. On June 5th, they're going to pour you an extra half glass, a bonus equal to 50% of your total annual GST credit amount. And then, starting July 3rd, they're going to begin pouring 25% more into every single glass 4 times a year for the next 5 years. Those are 2 separate increases. The first is a one-time lump sum on June 5th. The second is a permanent quarterly boost starting July 3rd. Now let me give you the actual dollar amounts because this is what truly matters. Under the old GST/HST credit, the maximum annual payment for a single individual was $533. Under the new Canada Groceries and Essentials Benefit, starting July 2026, the maximum annual payment for a single individual rises to $679. For a married or common-law couple, it goes from $698 up to $890. And for each child under 19, it increases from $184 to $234. But here's where it gets really significant. When you combine the June 5th one-time top-up with the enhanced quarterly payments, the total a single individual can receive in 2026 reaches up to $950. A family of 4 can receive up to $1,390. The CRA confirmed those exact numbers in a press release on April 17, 2026. That's the number you've been hearing about, and that's what we're making sure lands in your bank account. Now let me walk you through 3 real-life scenarios so you can see exactly what this looks like depending on your situation. First, meet Janet. She's 69, single, and living in Hamilton. Janet receives CPP of $14,000 a year and OAS of about $8,000. Her total net income is roughly $22,000. Under the old GST credit, Janet received about $530 per year, approximately $133 per quarter. On June 5th, Janet will receive a one-time top-up of approximately $265. Then starting July 3rd, her quarterly payments increase by 25%. So instead of $133, she'll receive about $170 each quarter. Janet's total benefit for 2026 comes to approximately $945. That's over $400 more than she received last year. For Janet, that's a full month of groceries. That's real and meaningful money. Now meet Frank and Mary. Both are 74 and living in Edmonton. Frank receives CPP and a small company pension. Mary receives CPP and OAS. Their combined family net income is about $41,000. Under the old system, they received about $640 per year. On June 5th, they'll receive a one-time top-up of around $320. Starting July, their quarterly payments go up by 25%. Their total benefit for 2026 comes to approximately $1,320. They were getting about $640 before. Now they're getting over $1,100. That's an increase of nearly $500, and they didn't have to apply for a single thing. Now the third scenario is critical. Meet Paul. He's 71, single, and living in Mississauga. Paul has CPP of $11,000, OAS of $8,000, and he does some part-time bookkeeping that brings in another 35,000 children. His net income sits at about $54,000. At $54,000, Paul is approaching the maximum income threshold, which for a single person with no children is $56,181. Because of the phase-out, Paul's GST credit has already been reduced. He's only receiving about $110 per year. His June 5th top-up will be approximately $55. His quarterly payments will increase slightly. His total for 2026 comes to about $200. Not the full $950, but still more than before. Here's the key takeaway from these 3 scenarios. The lower your income, the greater the benefit. If you're living on CPP, OAS, and GIS, you're very likely receiving the maximum amount. If your income is above $45,000, the benefit begins to shrink. And if your combined household income is above roughly $59,000 for a couple with no children, you may not qualify at all. Now here's where things get really important. And honestly, this next section is the main reason I made this video. There are 3 things about this benefit that almost nobody is talking about, and every single one of them could determine whether you actually receive this money. The first hidden detail is that the June 5th payment and the July 3rd payment are calculated based on 2 completely different tax returns. This is the detail that is catching people completely off guard. The one-time top-up landing June 5th is calculated using your 2024 tax return. The enhanced quarterly payments starting July 3rd are calculated using your 2025 tax return. So if you filed your 2024 taxes, but haven't yet filed your 2025 taxes, you'll receive the June 5th bonus, but your July payment could be delayed or missing entirely. And if you only filed your 2025 taxes and never filed 2024, you won't get the June 5th payment at all. Both years must be filed for you to receive the full benefit in 2026. I'll say that one more time. You need both your 2024 and your 2025 tax returns filed and assessed. The second hidden detail is that the CRA can take your entire June 5th payment, every single cent of it, and apply it toward a debt you owe the government. The CRA's own website states it clearly. If you have an outstanding balance, they may automatically apply benefits you're entitled to, including the GST/HST credit, toward that debt. This is called an offset. It applies to unpaid income taxes, CERB repayments, EI overpayments, CPP overpayments, OAS overpayments, and even Canada student loans. So, you could be eligible for 260 cents on June 5th and receive absolutely nothing because the government paid itself first. If you think you might owe the CRA anything, log into your CRA My account right now and check your balance. You can find out before June 5th. Don't be caught off guard. The third hidden detail actually surprised me when I read the analysis. The poorest single seniors in Canada receive less from this benefit than seniors who earn $20,000 a year. I know that sounds completely backwards. Let me explain. The GST/HST credit has something called a phase-in for single adults. If you're a single person with zero reported income, your maximum annual benefit is only about $352. But if your income rises to about $11,500 or above, your benefit increases to the full $533. This phase-in design means a person with absolutely no income receives $181 less than someone with modest income. The Institute for Research on Public Policy, one of Canada's most respected policy think tanks, highlighted this in their detailed analysis and actually recommended that the government address this design flaw. The government chose not to. They also recommended excluding seniors from the enhanced amounts entirely, arguing that seniors already receive OAS and GIS. The government rejected that recommendation and kept seniors in the program. So the good news is that seniors are included. The unfortunate reality is that the most financially vulnerable seniors receive less than modest income earners, and the 25% CGEB increase doesn't fix that gap. In dollar terms, it actually makes it wider. I want you to type in the comments right now. Did you know about this phase-in rule? Yes or no? I read every single comment, and I have a strong feeling most of you had no idea this existed. All right, let's go through the 5 most common mistakes that could cost you this payment. And I'll be upfront with you. Mistake number 1 is the one that affects the greatest number of people: not filing your 2024 tax return. The CRA states it directly on their website. To receive the one-time top-up payment, you and your spouse or common-law partner must file your 2024 tax return, even if you have no income to report. Even if you have zero income, even if you owe nothing, you must still file. Research estimates that 10 to 12% of low-income Canadians don't file tax returns. That could be over 1 million people who qualify for the June 5th payment and will never receive it. If you haven't filed, you can still do it now. It's not too late. The CRA will assess your return and issue any amounts you're entitled to retroactively. You won't receive it on June 5th, but you will eventually receive it. Don't walk away from money that belongs to you. Mistake number 2 is confusing the top-up amount with the quarterly amount. I see this everywhere on Facebook, on Reddit, and even in messages people send me. People hear 50% increase and assume each quarterly payment is going up by 50%. That's not how it works. The 50% top-up is a one-time lump sum equal to half of your total annual GST credit, not half of one quarterly payment. If your total annual credit is $400, your top-up is $200. One payment, one time, on June 5th. Starting in July, the ongoing increase is 25% applied to each quarterly payment for 5 years. 2 different increases, 2 different amounts, 2 different timelines. Mistake number 3 is not knowing that the CRA can seize the payment for outstanding debts. I've already covered this, but I want to emphasize it again. If you owe the CRA for any reason, that June 5th payment could disappear before it ever reaches your bank account. Check your My Account. If you have a balance, call the CRA and discuss a payment arrangement before June 5th. The number for individual tax inquiries is 1-800-959-8281. Mistake number 4 is clicking on scam links that claim to be related to the grocery benefit. Remember Gloria from the beginning of this video? This is exactly what happened to her. She saw a Facebook post about the $950 payment, clicked a link, and entered her social insurance number on a fraudulent website. There is no application process for this benefit. You do not need to sign up. You do not need to click any link. The CRA calculates everything automatically from your filed tax return. If anyone asks you to enter your personal information to claim this payment, it is a scam. The only legitimate source is canada.ca. Full stop. Mistake number 5 is not knowing that your payment might appear under the old name. The CRA has warned that the June 5th payment may still show up in your bank account labeled as GST/HST credit, not as Canada Groceries and Essentials benefit. Financial institutions are still in the process of updating their systems, so if you see a GST credit deposit on June 5th that is larger than usual, that is your top-up payment. Don't call your bank thinking there's been an error. That money is yours. If you've made any of these mistakes or you're worried you might be at risk, don't panic. Drop a comment below, and I'll do my best to point you in the right direction. Here is your complete action plan. I'd encourage you to pause right now and write these steps down. Step 1. Confirm that your 2024 tax return has been filed and assessed. Log into your CRA My Account at canada.ca. If you don't have an online account, call 1-800-959-8281. If your 2024 return has not been filed, file it immediately, even if you had zero income. You can use the CRA NetFile service for free if your tax situation is straightforward, or visit a free tax clinic. The CRA maintains a list of community volunteer tax preparation clinics at canada.ca. Just search for free tax clinics. Step 2. File your 2025 tax return if you haven't done so already. Your 2024 return gets you the June 5th top-up. Your 2025 return gets you the enhanced quarterly payment starting July 3rd. You need both. The deadline for most individuals was April 30th, but you can still file late. The sooner you file, the sooner your July 3rd payment is calculated correctly. Step 3. Check your CRA account for any outstanding balances. If you owe the CRA money for taxes, CERB repayments, or benefit overpayments, your June 5th payment could be used to offset that debt. In your My Account, go to Accounts and Payments and review whether there is a balance owing. If there is, call the CRA to set up a payment arrangement before June 5th. Step 4. Sign up for direct deposit. Right now, nearly 4 million government checks worth over $2 billion are sitting uncashed across Canada. If you're still receiving paper checks, you are at risk. A check can get lost in the mail, stolen, or simply forgotten in a drawer. Sign up for direct deposit through your CRA My Account or by calling your bank. It takes 5 minutes and ensures your money arrives on the exact date, June 5th. No waiting, no trips to the bank. Step 5. Make sure your spouse or common-law partner has also filed their return. This is one many people overlook. The CRA calculates the GST/HST credit based on your combined family net income. If your spouse hasn't filed their return, your credit could be delayed or recalculated incorrectly. Both partners need to have filed both 2024 and 2025 for the household to receive the correct amount. Step 6. Mark these dates in your calendar right now. June 5th is the one-time top-up payment. July 3rd is the first enhanced quarterly CGEB payment under the new 25% increase. October 5th is the second quarterly CGEB payment. Those are the 3 dates that matter most for the rest of this year. Step 7. Do not click on any link claiming you need to apply for the grocery benefit. There is no application. There is no sign-up form. The CRA determines your eligibility automatically when you file your taxes. If you see a post on Facebook, receive a text message, an email, or anything asking you to enter your social insurance number or banking details to claim this benefit, block it, delete it, and report it. The only official and legitimate source of information is Canada.ca. Remember Gloria from Oshawa? After she realized she had entered her SIN on a fraudulent website, she called the CRA's fraud reporting line. They flagged her account. They blocked the redirect attempt. And because Gloria had already filed her 2024 tax return, her June 5th payment is fully protected. She told me, and I'm paraphrasing, "I almost lost my grocery money trying to get my grocery money. If I had just known it was automatic, I never would have clicked that link." Gloria's story could have ended very differently, and I don't want that to happen to you. Here's the bottom line. If you filed your 2024 tax return and your income is below the threshold, your money is on its way on June 5th. You don't need to apply. You don't need to call anyone. You don't need to click on anything. It will appear in your bank account or arrive in your mailbox if you're still receiving paper checks. But if you haven't filed, if you have a CRA debt you don't know about, or if you're still getting paper checks that sit in a drawer, you need to take action now, today, not next week. I create these videos because I believe every Canadian senior deserves to know exactly where their money is, exactly what they're entitled to, and exactly what to do to protect it. Since 2020, food prices in this country have risen by 27%. The average family is now spending nearly $1,000 more on food this year than last year. Nearly 1 in 3 older Canadians say the rising cost of living is their #1 financial concern. You spent your entire working life contributing to this country. You paid into CPP, you earned your OAS, and you deserve every single cent that is coming to you. If this video helped you, or if it could help someone you love, please share it right now. Send it to your spouse, send it to your neighbor, text it to your brother, your sister, your friend who just retired, because chances are they don't know about the June 5th payment, and they don't know the 5 traps that could take it away. One share could save someone hundreds of dollars, or protect them from a scam. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so now. Hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you never miss an update from Canada Pension News Bulletin. I'm here every single week with the latest changes to CPP, OAS, GIS, CRA rules, and everything that affects your retirement income. You worked hard your whole life. The least you deserve is someone making sure you never miss what's yours.